So Harry Dangel, Global Vice President for Market Development, Strategic Market Development and OEM Relationships with Fixed Network. The biggest thing is just synergy and the cultural fit, right, in terms of the way they think and the way we think in terms, and also to make sure that our visions are aligned. The markets obviously differ, and it ranges from different markets, but a lot of it's really to do with making sure that we're aligned from a cultural perspective and our visions are in the same way. So we've been focusing a lot in the Middle East markets at the moment, right? We've just in the process of expanding into Saudi Arabia and then other parts of the GCC countries, and we think that particular emerging market is going to be a huge opportunity for us in the coming years. Just adapting it, and everything varies. I mean, the core principles remain the same, but from a cultural perspective, you need to adjust, right? And you need to sell it and bring it on board accordingly based on that particular market. It's not very, very rare, is it? One size fits all. So you need to always adapt and look at the landscape and then see how we can approach it. What we are is we disrupt markets, right? And when we do look at a new market, we look at the opportunities and to see is it a market that needs disrupting today? Is it ready? Is it mature enough? And then we basically go from there. Well, we don't normally. It's not global partners, right? It's regional. For a particular continent, for example, in this particular case, the one that I was just talking to you about with Saudi Arabia and the GCC. In the past, we've gone into national or new countries and looked at opportunities to see, okay, is there a fit with a given group? And whereas we've slightly changed our strategy since then. Now we look at an overall holistic approach to say, is it a market maybe that we should enter as a master franchisee and then basically work that model just like it is in the US and in Canada, for example? Or is it somewhere that we need a local partner and then basically work very closely with a local partner, making sure that there's a fit? And we go through a variety of different processes, right, in order to make sure that there's a fit. And it's not something that's just an overnight. Yeah. It can take up to, in the Middle East, for example, it's taken nearly close to 3 years. A lot of it's the brand, to be honest with you. We've created a very nice footprint and a very, very nice brand. And moving forward, we've set certain trends. So when you look at other emerging markets, they're already interested in seeing what we're doing, and then if there's a fit. And I think the biggest thing, again, is a matter of is a market disruptable, and is the timing right, and where it's headed. We see very similar trends, to be honest with you, around the world. Same challenges, people, technicians, parts challenges, supply challenges, and then working closely with the insurance companies and the pressures that come along working with the insurance providers and work providers. So very similar challenges, but just at different stages. What's funny, that's a great question, right? Because we're in the process right now. When we look at the Middle East, for example, we get approached a lot by technicians that say, look, we want to move to Canada, or I've started my PR process. You're from Canada, you're a Canadian company. I get that a lot. A lot of people, a lot of technicians, and most of them are ethnically, they're either Indian descent or Pakistani descent, Filipinos. So, and in markets like Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, they already got work permits and they're working as technicians, but they want to come to Canada. And we see that a lot. So we want to work with our partners in the Saudi, and then obviously with Fix in Canada, to see if we can link a process and bring technicians from those markets, and then basically place them. Well, no, the way we're looking at it, obviously this isn't common knowledge though, right? But the way that we are looking at it right now is our partners in Saudi are going to have a training center, right? And they've got a lot of technicians that they're going through. They've got business today. The ideology behind it, or methodology behind it, is to take our trainers, do a trainer program, and basically have some trainers in Saudi, and then put the technicians, who are already technicians today in their own right, but put them through a bit more vigorous training from a Canadian standpoint, or the way that we would do things here, and fast track them, right? And then place them in the shops in Saudi for a couple of years, and then basically have a process of bringing them over here and then placing them into locations.